My name is Renata Samuels-Card.
And I'm Courtney Menzies.
And we're super, super excited. It's a Montabulous Monday. And for some reason, we decided to not have 1, nor 2, nor 3, nor 4, nor 5, nor 6. The number is increasing as the updating of the beef happens, but it's a very overcooked, very, very overwhelmed beef that's going to be happening for you today. So stay tuned for that excitement. What else do we have, Cords?
We have representatives from the Belize Film Festival joining us via Zoom to talk about this year's competition.
All that and so much more for conservation people. We have some treats for you too as well. But you know how this works. Put your comments in the comment section, make it live, interactive, fun, and respectful, of course. Now, we must one call over to Jules at the couch. Embrace yourself.
Sunup. Seek the answer that's worth looking for today.
And we're going to be talking about the hot shush that has been happening.
The world that we see may seem that will never change. They say, but if you tear down the wall that's blinding us all, you'll see the way today. A place to call your home, a place where you can grow. Stand by me.
Did you miss us, Bluezillas? We are excited because the beef is getting ready to be served, getting sizzling, getting cooking. But before all of that, let's go and take a look at the weather quarters of the Belize Met Service.
Good morning. Radar observations show light to moderate showers or periods of rain affecting most areas overnight, with the activity decreasing over most areas by this morning. The forecast is for sunny skies with a few cloudy spells today. A few showers or periods of rain are possible, mostly along the south coast. Elsewhere, generally fair and mild conditions can be expected. High temperatures are expected to reach about 86 Fahrenheit along the coast, 89 Fahrenheit inland, and 79 Fahrenheit in the hills. Winds are light and from the northwest, and sea conditions are light chop. A high tide will occur at 18 minutes after 8 this morning, and low tide will be at 4 minutes after 2 this afternoon. The moon will rise at 9 minutes to 4 this evening, and the sun sets at 5:20 this evening. Tonight, skies will be variably cloudy with isolated showers or periods of light rain. Temperatures are expected to drop to about 74 Fahrenheit near the coast, 67 Fahrenheit inland, and 62 Fahrenheit up in the hills. And in the outlook for Tuesday and Tuesday night, isolated showers or periods of light rain will occur mostly offshore and along some coastal areas. In the tropical weather outlook, tropical cyclone formation is not expected during the next 48 hours over the North Atlantic Basin. And that concludes this morning's weather report and forecast produced at the National Meteorological Service.
And we are back, guys. As you can see, I'm very comfortable. You know, when I have that cushion and everything, we're getting ourselves properly prepared for what I see as 9 topics.
Quick.
Quick.
We have to quick.
You sure?
Quick.
You sure? Because when
No.
a 5, quick. So I don't know when I put 9.
Good morning to
How are you
everyone.
doing, Jules? Good morning.
9. Let's make it the fastest 9 ever.
Okay, fast 9. So, rip off the Band-Aid?
Rip it off. Let's go.
Okay. Starting up quick, guys. HRCU president under scrutiny.
Yeah, so we ran a story on Friday night, which we have been, working on for some time. And it's about a loan for $622,000, which the president of the HRCU, Wendy Castillo, she got from the institution. And a number of documents were missing. Now, you know that going through loans, you have to provide source of income, source of wealth. You have to provide your contracts, etc. And a number of these were not provided. And the internal auditor pointed out that, it raised flags in the system because a number of the critical criteria were not met. And the business financials were not provided, the contractual agreement for provision of services were not provided, the statement of asset liability, and a trade license certificate, among other omissions. Now, obviously, as a president of an institution with so many tens of thousands of members, $800 million in assets, it's a huge institution. And, it has profits of 29 million. You are leading this institution. As she said in her messages to me when I inquired, she is subject to a higher level of scrutiny. The central bank has so far declined to speak on it, but it's not a story that we take upon lightly. We don't want to get in on nobody private banking business, but she's the president.
Yeah.
Of this, how do they call them? Member owners.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So these are tens of thousands of people to whom you're accountable. And it's really, I think that some action or statement will have to be made, or I would hope so, but so far all we've received from the Holy Redeemer Credit Union is an extremely stern letter from the general manager, Mr. Clement Usher, to whom we inquired, about these outstanding things. And it's really, I've never received a letter like this. And it says, to the extent that there may have been an unauthorized disclosure of information to Channel 7 in breach of the Credit Unions Act, etc., we believe it is your duty to disclose the source to us and to our regulator, the central bank. So it's my duty as a journalist
To give up your source.
to give up my source.
Yeah.
That is the opposite of my duty. My duty is to keep my source. That's my duty. That's my ethical requirement. Right? We therefore respectfully request that you provide the source of your information forthwith, which we may be forced to seek legal recourse against you to secure same. So the letter from the general manager, the CFO, acting manager, is saying that, I either provide it forthwith or they will sue me to get my source.
Basically. Respectfully, they said, though.
Respectfully.
It's just double.
Right? We hope that this will not be necessary and we look forward. I've never seen a letter like that. I see a lot of lawyer letters. This isn't from a lawyer, it's from Mr. Usher himself. But, I pointed to significant factual issues raised in our internal auditor report, not rumor on the street. I didn't ask it about any average member. I asked it about the president of the board,
Exactly.
the paramount corporate officer in the institution, in the governance of the institution. And I think that the member owners deserve an answer, but instead we got an extremely strong and unprecedented letter, in my opinion, saying, provide a source of information or prepare to be sued for it. So I hope it doesn't go down that route. I never want things to go in the legal route, but it will be interesting to see what happens next. I'm told what happens next. I'm told they're having a meeting today with certain key staff to find out who is the leak.
I know. You know, instead of fixing the problem, we're
Or
looking at
addressing it.
addressing the problem, sending out a proper statement or something.
Right.
We're going to like, tell me who tell you. Tell me who tell you right now.
Or who leak it?
Who leak it?
Who leak it? So yeah. Anyway, we'll see where it goes.
Okay, so we move on to our next
See,
topic.
yes, moving fast. Okay, so
The DPP will get the Budna file, but what next?
well, I think this is a very interesting juncture. They, after playing around, after wasting everyone's time, and saying, publicly stating that the Prime Minister has determined there will be an independent investigation. Let's not forget that, and I'm not saying it to be, to put myself in the middle of it, but I'm saying that we called for that, Courtney, I think it was the Monday before September 1st, thereabouts, August 27th, right there in the beef.
Yeah.
Thereabouts, late August. So we called for it. The Minister of Home Affairs agreed, etc. It gained momentum. It had a lot of public traction. And the reason that we called for it is because clearly police are involved. And in a crime at this level, police cannot investigate police. I believe police should never investigate police. But we're not talking about a professional standards branch infraction, right? We aren't talking about the average case of somebody made a hustle you for $1,000 or something like that. We are talking about a major offense. Kidnapping is an offense for which the sentence can be up to life in prison. It's a very major crime. And what happened is that a citizen was delivered to a country that claims us, a hostile country. So it's a major event that has happened. And the Prime Minister says on September 30th, let's have an independent investigation. And then, so casually, last week, Monday, 1 week ago, he informs us, we don't mess with that, boy. They don't got no mechanism for it. Let us be very clear. Anything the government wants to do, it can create a legislation for in a day. In a day, it can pass anything through the House of Representatives. And this is a needed piece of legislation. When it was time, they needed a special prosecutor for the El Myrna trial of the triple murder of the Ramnare's family. They went and they passed a special prosecutor law, which was very controversial and which the Senate later rejected. They had to end up doing it another way. But they created a law and they passed it. It was hugely controversial. Or they attempted to pass it, I should say. They passed it through the House of Representatives. It was rejected at the Senate. The government can do anything it really wants to do. But the Prime Minister made it clear, we're not interested. In fact, in the interview, he told me, just as a casual way, where am I going to call the FBI? Like, big joke.
He was really like, what do you want me to do?
Where am I going to call the FBI? This is not serious. I'm just saying, obviously there is a minimization, right? There is a minimization of what happened, and there is the hope that all will be forgotten and forgiven. As best as possible, we cannot afford to let that happen. So we're at the junction now where they say, yeah, boy, we're just saying send it over to the DPP. No. What will be in the file that the DPP gets, and I hope the DPP has received it already. It was decided at Cabinet on Tuesday. I believe, consistent with what has been happening, they will send a very light file, right? I believe. I believe also that along the way, certain police officers have been urged to change their statements. To change their statements to say, you know, to actually soften the facts or modify the facts, which is perverting the courts of justice, but leave that be. I am saying that I take the DPP's office or commitment to justice very seriously. She is not someone to be underestimated ever. However, her powers, she does not have the power to investigate. She has the power to supervise investigations or to direct about certain, to direct the the police to make certain follow-ups, but her office per se does not have the power to investigate. I know that many defense attorneys have accused her of doing this in the pursuit of justice. And I think that it is the first time, whatever file she gets, and I believe the file will be insubstantial, not a serious investigation that was done, because I don't think it was a serious investigation, but I'm saying that this is the first time it will reach the hands of a serious, credible authority. In this case, the police are not serious and credible because it's a police operation that abducted Budna. The Prime Minister in this matter is not serious or credible. He has not acted, I don't believe, in the public interest. He has shown no interest in trying to...
From day one.
He still hasn't admitted that. It's in the video. He has no interest in it, right?
Yeah.
So, although it happened in his constituency, but my point is that it's an interesting juncture because we know the DPP's office cannot be compromised and will take it seriously, but what do they have to work with? What is in that file? I don't think it will be substantial. I think the government just hopes it will go the way of nowhere and no one will be charged, which would be such a lamentable thing because at least 2 police officers can be clearly identified in there. And they were not acting on a lark. At least one of them, we know, received a firearm while he was on leave. So we just have to wait and see what happens next. But I know that if there is enough evidence, charges will be brought. We have to wait and see.
Somebody's asking here also, in the case that they present that file to the DPP, if it's possible for her, seeing that she knows some of the facts or knows some of the things that have been circulating, to request for it too as well, even if it's not presented initially for her, because of just trying to gather all the evidence. I know she doesn't gather it, but would it be a thing that she could be able to request for certain things too as well, if she knows?
Yes, I think that certainly, well, the report, we're told, according to the Minister of Home Affairs, the investigation made mention of 2 surveillance video files, right?
Yeah.
Karim Musa said that the investigator said they had reviewed that. So that has, I hope, that is in the file submitted to the DPP. But certainly if reference is made to those files and she's not provided with it, it is within her powers to say, hey, I need to see these files. So it's a really interesting juncture, and we'll see where it goes. We just have to wait and see. But I much prefer it in the hands of the DPP than in the Prime Minister's office, right? Yeah. It is the first credible authority that it's reaching. Moving on. We're doing good on time. Let's go quick.
All right. Next one. You want to repeat that, Courtney?
The appeal against the ombudsman.
Yeah, you know, I just mentioned this, and I know you guys have covered this here, but the government, as we know, is going to the Court of Appeal to try and have the recommendation from the ombudsman overruled. The ombudsman has recommended to the Attorney General, please show them people how much the government spent on lawyers for the redistricting case. Remember, this is the government weaponizing taxpayers' money to hire the best attorneys in the country to defend a corrupt voters list. A voters list that's against the explicit letter of the Constitution, right? They hired the best attorneys to say, make we keep this lopsided, corrupt, bankrupt voters list. And we need the best attorneys to do it. Okay, you know, it is what it is. But I'm saying that it's fair for any citizen to say how much you spent on an attorney to defend the voters list, to defend the status quo. And these are the recommendations, that the simple recommendation that he made to the Attorney General, the names of the attorney or law firm, the total amount paid to each attorney or law firm. Simple. But we have seen a consistent pattern where the Prime Minister is trying to circumscribe the authority of oversight bodies in Belize or democratically empowering bodies in Belize. Courtney, you did the interview when the Prime Minister said the Kikaka referendum is a misuse of the Referendum Act.
Yeah, and the need for change the legislation as soon as possible.
Right. No, he's telling people you can't access your democracy like that.
Yeah.
You could only access it in a we Babylon. For we Babylon system, when we got a whole thing rigged.
Yeah.
In the 5-year elections or in the 3-year elections, etc. But this is a consistent pattern, circumscribing citizens' rights to access how their democracy works, to access information. So, you know, the Prime Minister said last week, I don't know if that's within the power of the Ombudsman to do that. It is well within the power under the Freedom of Information Act. And this is the first time someone has tested it to this level. But the government has a rabidly intense desire to suppress the free flow of information, man. Just tell them how much you charge the people.
Yeah. You don't spend it. You don't win. You don't win. The election don't go through. Just.
It ain't your money.
Right.
It ain't your money.
This is the thing. It's just about the accountability of it and being transparent about what was done.
So also, I believe the Ombudsman, very regrettably, is a contract officer. They like to talk about contract officers in the judiciary. He's a contract officer. And I believe his contract is not far on the horizon and the government is not pleased. You know why the government is not pleased? Because he's sending inquiries to certain ministries asking, he's doing his job.
Yeah.
But remember, the job of the Ombudsman, as framed by the PUDP, is to keep the status quo, preserve the status quo, don't rock the boat. Every ombudsman or ombudswoman has had some linkage with the party in power. And I don't want to impugn upon the reputation of excellent people and sincere people who I believe have held the post. But the fact is, the ombudsman is not taken seriously in the corridors of power in this country. Consistently not taken seriously. And this ombudsman, former PUP mayor, who I believe resigned out of anger and frustration at the port, at the Belize Port Authority, anger and frustration with the political status quo. I'm saying that he is being cautioned in this. Don't rock the boat. Preserve the status quo. Man, how is asking, you don't spend it. You don't win.
Yeah.
How is that disrupting? So we have to see where this goes and who will be the ombudsman's attorney, because the government's attorney is suing the ombudsman.
Yeah.
Right? So who becomes the ombudsman's attorney? Right? It's so serious, right? It's really unprecedented, but we'll just have to see where it goes.
But with this ombudsman and also the way that the Prime Minister has not really cared about the Bunda investigation, it just shows it's a series of things happening at the same time where they're doing the same thing in every situation where it's like, why you worry about that for? No worry about that.
Right.
We not talk about that. We not reveal that. We not.
Nothing to see here.
Right, exactly.
Close
right.
your eyes.
No news here.
Yeah, nothing happening here, yeah. And it's just, when you suppress information from the public, you keep them in the dark, that's how you control them, that's how you rule them. That then becomes a dictatorship.
Right.
Close to it. But so, and then we have the situation where, we don't have an opposition that's actively fighting against it, and we have the media.
Effectively.
Effectively. Well, they're trying.
Yeah, but I'm saying they're trying, but they're not being effective. Because unless you're mobilizing people, government doesn't care.
Right.
That is true.
That's real. You could have press conference till the cows come home, but I interrupted
They
you.
wore shirts.
What's that?
They wore shirts.
They wore shirts.
They wear shirts.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's just, we're seeing a series of the government just being drunk off its own power, and it's very alarming how they just disregard it so easily. Like, you have the media in front of you, the media which should be taken seriously, but it's like, why
Cavalier dismissal.
Yeah. Right. It's just so dismissive. It's like, why don't worry about that? Stop asking about that. What don't want I do?
Next question, yeah.
Next
that's what
question.
he said.
Or walk away.
Yeah, he said that how you feel. It told Marisol at the end of the
that's how you feel,
interview.
yeah.
She said, but then this shows you don't take it seriously. He said, well, that's how you feel.
Yeah.
Next, whatever. Feel how you want to feel. But yeah, it's this cavalier attitude. When I end up, vote me out?
Exactly.
Make me broke? Please, can't happen. So, but yeah, that way they call she baby beef.
So we're moving on to the next couch topic, which is the allegation of sexual harassment made against the BTL CEO.
Yeah, so, we want to stress the CEO has been, the BTL CEO, Ivan Tesokum, has been placed on 10 days leave as a consequence of an investigation which was done. He was not placed on leave as a consequence of the sexual harassment complaint. That was not borne out, and I'll return to that. But he was placed on leave because he broke the corporate policy, as I understand it. He was inebriated on a work trip. But out of that inebriation or inebriated episode arose this allegation of sexual harassment, right? And it's important because, we have to revisit the revised law 2024 on sexual harassment, and it makes it very clear that a victim of sexual harassment has to be the direct recipient of some type of sexual advance, sexual innuendo, sexual action, sexual gesture of an explicit sexual nature. There has to be overtly an explicit sexual language involved, right? But then what happens, and you all are women, you all are professional women, what happens, what do you call it? What should a woman do when her boss is harassing her to come to his room after midnight? Mm-hmm. No sexual explicit nature. But after midnight is not working hours. Especially, what do you do? And I'm speaking in the most general terms. What do you do if someone is inebriated, someone in authority is inebriated, and they invite you to their room? You all know, as women have a different set of rules to navigate the world.
Yeah.
Women are vulnerable, physically vulnerable to sexual violence. So as a professional, you can't go up to no man room, especially if inebriated after midnight. So it may not be overtly sexual that I want to corner my room for so and so, but what really constitutes sexual harassment? Is that advised? Is that safe for any woman to be put in that situation? How do you all see it?
Right. Because if she had gone to the room and if she, God forbid, had been assaulted, then everybody in a Belize, all these victim blamers that we have, many of them here in this country, will be like, well, why she make another room for? Why she make another room? And then you have the power imbalance. You can't have a consensual relationship when there's this power imbalance, that's your boss. It's just like if you're in university and then your teacher comes on to you in that way. There's that power imbalance that will never fully make it consensual. I mean, there's nuance to it, but that power imbalance, and then she obviously is maybe this hasn't happened to her before and in this way, and then she's confused, she doesn't know what to do. But if she had gone to the room and something had happened,
yeah, she would have been victim blamed.
Well, that's what the law is saying. The law is saying you shouldn't have gone to the room, something should have happened.
Well,
and then
that's not what the law is saying, but
it's
yes.
saying that's the way, that's the only way you
that
could
in
have
order for it to
reported
qualify as sexual harassment, there has to be a direct sexual act.
That is the thing.
But women have to be safer than that.
And that's the thing. I like how Courtney was talking about just the power imbalance. I think people keep forgetting about that power dynamic of employer to employee, teacher to student too, as well. We've seen it time and time again where the person that is being ordered to do something or instructed in any kind of way to do something to as well, you feel like it's an obligation based on what position you play in this relationship. So in that case too as well, you're getting a message to come at crazy hours that are off your work hours too as well, to be able to come, but you don't know exactly what you're going to be coming. Now, any normal person here say a message like, what would I possibly be doing at my boss' room after hours? In what realm are we going to be doing, what are we going to be doing too as well?
Right.
And I think it sets alarms to as well for any person to think, I don't think this is a safe time. We could probably do whatever it is. If it was work, we could do it tomorrow morning.
And in a
We
public
could do it in a
setting.
public space. We could go
Yeah.
outside. We could work with our laptop or whatever.
lobby,
it is.
something.
There's
Yeah.
a lot of places that we can be able to. Why I don't know
Yeah,
why
but-
I need to be out
In
there
your
that
room,
late. So like
yeah.
it doesn't set a good tone for something to be done, even if it is work. There are other ways that we could have been doing something to as well, and you put yourself in vulnerable situations. And not putting yourself in vulnerable situations is a boundary that is putting up to us. It's a professional boundary, and it's also for your own safety and well-being too as well. Because what are we telling persons that, you know, you're just supposed to follow what exactly everything that they're telling you in some extreme circumstances like that? So I don't think it cuts, and I don't think it right. And if somebody feels uncomfortable with being asked for something like that, they're all right, because you put it out there, what could have possibly happened?
Yeah, but then, and that's why I'm saying the broader conversation has to happen. The law was updated recently, and it was a progressive move, I believe. But, you know, I don't know if it engenders all that women have to navigate in these charged situations, these potentially dangerous situations, right? Because the law calls for specific sexual advances. So I'm saying it's part of a broader conversation that has to be had, that has to factor in how women navigate professional spaces, how they navigate the world, how they navigate social spaces.
And then when you have something like this and then the boss doesn't get penalized for it, you maintain that status quo in that establishment, because we don't know what else is happening in that establishment. And you maintain the status quo, and any other survivor of harassment, assault, anything that's any other woman there, they are forced to keep quiet now, and their lives get ruined. So now this woman, maybe she has to quit her job, maybe she has to find another job, which isn't easy. So her life gets thrown into turmoil while the company continues to protect him and maintain the status quo of him and any other person
I
who
should
might
say
be
that
perpetrating.
I think the company acted by the letter of the law. But the law, it does not speak to all the contexts. It does not engender all the situations that women are in. So yeah, it's, as I said, it's part of a bigger conversation. I know that BTL is a company that offers rigorous training on sexual harassment against to mitigate against it and to draw clear lines. So, but you know, I don't think we've seen the end of this. I think there will be more legal activity around this, but it's a significant event, and it has to be noted for, has to make us look more deeply at sexual harassment. We're falling behind, guys.
Yes, I know
Time
we
is
are.
not good.
Okay, so we're moving right along to our next couch topic, which is talking about October and how of a murderous month it was.
I just want to underscore, because October was the worst month we've seen for murders, and it's very lamentable. I hope the last 2 months of the year can be nil. Up to the end of September, we were down 14%, which is incredible. Great. I mean, there's nothing to cheer about. 62 people were already murdered, but it was very laudable. This is at the end of September. You can see it was down from 2024, 14%. Right? But you can see at the bottom there, September had 9 already, right? So from August, it's been trending up, right? So I'm saying that it's, we can see the trend line there, and then it spikes in September. Then it's going to spike again in October, the orange one, the orange line at the bottom. It's going to spike again in October. October had over a dozen murders. Now, I believe some of them will be concluded as death investigations. And I know, Courtney, you've already spoken about this here, about the situation with 2 gentlemen on the cycle, right? But there are, I believe, over a dozen murders in October.
Including 4 femicides.
5 femicides. So, and that's what concerns us as well, the variety of type of murders. We had gang violence, we had femicides, we had this allegation of vehicular murder, where, you know, a vehicle was used to run these 2 guys off the road, which led to the death of 2 young men. So we're hoping that, or I am certainly hoping that there can be no murders in November and December. Up to Friday, we had one in Corozal as well, which was a daylight execution. And it has, you know, hints of being, certainly it's unusual. There was no robbery element. The guy's a businessman. But yeah, it's really concerning to see a month like that with the month with the greatest number of murders this year, over a dozen. I believe over a dozen. The official number might say only 10.
Yeah.
Because a lot of them will be concluded as death investigations, right? I mean, we had a guy shot in the head in Cayo. Shot in the head, and they call that a death investigation.
Oh, because they couldn't establish the crime scene, and so they say.
No, that's our next one.
Oh, next one.
That's Ryan Hyde. I'm talking about the Herschula one.
Oh, okay.
Right? The Herschula one, Herschula was shot in the head, and the police said it's a death investigation when clearly he had been in dispute with someone. Anyway, we'll keep following up.
So we move right along to our next topic, which is Belizean in trouble across the border in Mexico.
Yeah, again, just something real quick. You know, Mexico continues to be a treacherous place, but ain't nobody, man still bring their vehicles. So this was, I think we can, if we can bring up some of the audio, guys, but this happened at the, somewhere in Mexico.
No. That's good, yeah. Why? I'll get out of we Why?
Okay. You get an idea. I don't want to play too much of the audio because I think there's cursing in it. But these guys, it looks like some police or transit authority stopped them, but they run into a proper Southside sandwich. It was about 15 Belizeans. The guy, one of the guys later posted, it's about 15 of us, and we held them back and we fight them off. I don't know what they were trying to do, but whatever they were trying to do, they run into the wrong set of Belize boys. Although this happened in Mexico, they run into a Southside sandwich that the Mexican police couldn't digest. If you can fast forward it until a little later when they jump on the hood, yeah. Watch how it falls off the hood. Flop, you knock me down. You throw me down. Civil suit. Anyway, these guys joined together to protect themselves and to protect their safety. I don't know what was the, they're still on the road, I believe. But it's tough right now in Mexico, but these guys, they banded together. You say, not trip, there are about 15 of we Belizeans, and we just stand up for each other. Thanks to the checkup straight, though.
I mean, it shows that, with some numbers, there's power there, too, as well.
Exactly,
because often it's not the case for Belizeans, it goes the different way.
Yeah.
So.
But, man, they know they stop bringing down vehicles, though.
No.
Though it's riddled with danger.
Though.
Yeah.
You have to understand, like, if not that, how would they be able to make that proper living? And then it's gonna also cost the consumer too as well if they have to ship those down. So I have to make my pitney eat, Jules. I have to make my pitney eat. So
we
have to make it work.
Nobody's doing it because they love it.
No.
Then they do it
it's a necessity.
to make money. Yeah, so, and moving on.
Yes, so we're talking about Kelly helping Jamaica.
Yes, so the government of Salvador sent, I believe, the first aid plane this weekend, or they sent it on Friday or Saturday, and we have the video, guys. They are sending support to Jamaica. We want to say that 29 are now confirmed dead in Jamaica, and a lot of the communities. So all this is what Salvador is sending, right? So they are sending a total of 3 aircraft over 3 days, 300 rescuers, and 50 tons of humanitarian aid.
Wow.
So respect to that. This is them arriving in Jamaica. The rebuilding effort in Jamaica, it will be incalculable, and the death toll, very sadly, will also rise from 29 as more communities start to report. Many of these communities are still marooned. They don't have...
They don't have water and light, internet, nothing at all,
Nothing.
so they can't really communicate and you can't see
And
what's
you don't have
happening.
regular, easy access to them.
Yeah.
But I know that El Salvador's GDP is 10 times that of Belize. And I know their population is 10 times that of Belize.
Very true.
More than 10. So I know they're smaller than us geographically, but much bigger economically and population-wise. But what will Belize send? That is the question, because the Prime Minister said last week, Monday, we will come to support them after the storm, the country of Jamaica. I understand we have a very small military, and I know they have sent some food supplies. I think we got pictures of that, guys. I know they've sent some food supplies for the Belizean students, the 75 Belizean students.
Yes.
How did they send these supplies? They sent these, see there they are. One of the Jamaica Air Force planes came to seek shelter in Belize, right? They came to seek shelter in Belize during the hurricane, and they parked there. Plane, here we come, and send back only 100 pack of ramen and Vienna sausage. But I'm just saying,
Man and Jews, man.
it will. I understand we can't respond like El Salvador, accepted, but it would be good if the government of Belize were able to send something. And I know that the Red Cross has a drive.
Yeah, they have been
the
doing
consular
their
office has a drive. There are a number of people who have drives, and I urge people to make a contribution. Someday, maybe not next year, hopefully not next 100 years, but it's going to reach us, a Category 5 storm. And it's unbelievable what they went through, especially in the community of Blackmouth, where was ground zero.
Yeah.
And we'll be talking about that on the news this week, especially from an insurance perspective, but yeah. So that's going to happen.
So we move right along.
Moving
Jews.
on.
One of our topics.
Oh, yes.
A lot of people that look
Yes.
forward to see Jews when this come out and they show the lead picture. Yo.
Oh, my
I said
goodness.
They find the best picture of Jews. They really find
Is
the
there
best
such a thing?
of Jews and the alleged hanger land grab.
Land grab.
Give me the full scoop of what going on, Jews.
So, well, I believe this is a nothing burger, as they call it. This is a situation. The residents of that area, of which I am one, have had a long-standing problem with security and nuisance activity in that area. And I don't mean mild nuisances. From 2002, I signed my first petition letter to the then mayor, David Fonseca. That was all the residents. 2018, I signed another. 2022, I signed another. There have been multiple letters, multiple petitions sent. Please try and do something about this. I understand we all occupy urban spaces where there are various assaults on our peace of mind and our feeling of safety within our home. But when you have to open your door and 100 feet away, gunshot the bus. 100 feet away, people are having sex, not inside the vehicle, but outside the vehicle.
Jeez.
100 feet away, pint the bus, speaker the blast. It is a quite excessive assault on your sense of well-being,
Of course.
on your domestic safety. My neighbor had a bullet come through her roof. An elderly woman had a bullet come through her roof and land in her bathroom 4 feet from her bed.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know where the bullet came from. There have been, and a murder happened out there about 2 decades ago. It is an unpoliced, unlit, unsafe area. That is a menace to the residents around there. Let us be very clear. Wherever vehicular traffic and assembly is allowed, there is going to be a problem. When pedestrians are involved, it's not so bad. But once you could park vehicle, blast music, do whatever you're doing, smoke weed, take drugs, whatever in the vehicle, it creates another dynamic. The famous Rock Park, so beloved in our city, then rock never grow to the ground. Those rocks arose from the neighborhood's frustration with people driving into the park, over the sidewalk, to go park by the seaside. I understand. People want liberty, they want to go by the seaside. So that's the historical context,
Okay.
right? So now, I became aware around the time of elections that the neighbors who live directly in front of Hangar I live adjacent to Lover's Point. Two different things, right? Adjacent, but two different. So I became aware that the neighbors, as they have been trying to do for many years to regularize the situation, the neighbors decided to make another attempt to get the land in front of them, which is a source of unsafety, harassment, etc. for them. Now, I am put in a situation then that only Lovers Point is left. So then all the crowd that may have got a hanger will rush to Lovers Point. So in a defensive move, I say, well, if I know to get in at that, I have to get in at this. I have to do something to block off that Lovers Point.
Yeah.
Because then all the
Yeah,
pressure,
all I
if
do.
I, no, let me make it clear. I don't think them man who made apply for them big piece of land, and we have the picture, guys. I don't think them man who made apply for them big piece of land made a move simple. I believe they had a fair, if not, let's say, I have a sliver at the end, 15 feet wide at the end, and that's to conserve Lovers Point as a defensive position. But I don't think their man made a move simple, who they claim they, who applied for those pieces. Their man never made a move simple. I believe they had a fair expectation from the Minister of Natural Resources and the CEO of Natural Resources, Cordell Hyde and Paul Thompson. I don't think their man made a move simple. That's why I said, well, I have to move, because I think they had a fair, I didn't say legitimate, but a fair expectation was given by the minister and the CEO. But events evented, the thing gets shut down. The ministry refused it in its wisdom. All right. It's not a crime to apply for land.
No, it's not.
I know they try to evict nobody from their land. I know they try to say, you move, make I get this land. I know they try to take land side of Holchan Marine Reserve. It's 15 feet wide. It's 15 square feet, right? But I will say that this is the first time you're hearing me speak on it, because other media have run a lot of stories on it, but not once has anybody called me
Oh, wow.
to say, would you comment on this? I'm happy to comment on it, because it's a nothing burger. There's nothing there. Nobody know you get nothing.
Yeah.
You apply for it, then say no. End of story.
You did the due process.
I'm a citizen.
Yeah.
I can apply for land.
Yeah,
I
that's
applied for land in a defensive posture because of the menace and the nuisance. I don't know who want to live with that. They happen on 100 feet from their door. You know, Chester Williams himself has written that it's an unsafe area and something has to be done when he was compelled. I'm just saying that it would have been, I don't know, I think that you're duty bound to reach out to your colleague if you're going, I mean, they ask Boots to talk about me,
Yeah.
right? They literally asked Boots to talk about me, which he didn't, respect to that. But I'm just saying, you could just ask me, we could go toe to toe.
You want to answer the message?
I'm
Or call,
right,
whatever it is.
and I said, well, I did the beef money, make a talk about it then. But there's nothing to talk about. Legally applied for, legally refused, end of story. The next dispute will be what happens with the planters. The planters were put there as a contravening measure. Those are days of peace like I have not known in 30 years, right? The planters were put there, but a member of the neighborhood who signed one of the petitions challenged it, and so the planters were moved, but the city council had indicated that it will publish it, do it properly, and take comments from the public on it. And I don't know if they'll put it back. I know members of the community will fight for it to be put back.
Yeah.
But I had to stay far from that.
One thing I have to take my leave picture.
So yeah, so you know, it'll be interesting to see if they bring those back. But I think that's really where it's at now. The issue of the land. We try and think a proposal that PDF image that we saw was generated by the residents. That's the proposal that was put.
Yeah.
That not come from, if you can show the graphic again, guys, that not come from Ministry of Natural Resources. That came from the residents. That's the proposal that went out. Ministry of Natural Resources shut it down. End of story.
Somebody's
That-
also saying or asking you, Jules, if why would I never like light up the area too as well?
Yeah, but
And maybe that would have helped. I'm not sure if
my,
it's something you guys tried.
my neighbor put on light. The McNabs and put on big floodlight out there. People come party under the light. People come party under the light.
My
Yeah.
God.
I mean, it's everything has been tried.
Yeah.
Right? And then, you know, over the years with us, police to enhance the patrols, you see, police that drink out there.
Yeah.
Right? I understand the sea breeze is intoxicating. We live in a tropical country, but, you know, I still continue to advocate for the safety and peace of mind for residents. And I don't know how we'll achieve that, but it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. I don't know how we'll achieve it without closing off the area, at least to vehicular traffic.
Maybe that.
I don't know how, but I don't think that'll be done. It's too unpopular. And
Yeah. And then there's the issue of the water coming into your yard too, and then without a proper seawall to block it off. And
oh, yeah, well, during the king tides,
yeah.
that whole area gets flooded.
Yeah.
And the area, desperately, the seawall needs to be totally rebuilt.
Oh, okay.
And the whole street has to be raised. That area, in 10 years, that problem will solve itself. Climate change will solve that. If something isn't done with that street and the seawall, it has to be totally rebuilt. I was looking at some videos of it, and I'll send that into the system now. And you can see this is just the king tides from 2023. October is when Belize City suffers from king tides, and my neighbors around here on Dean Street know it well. But you have the video now, sir. You know, we're seeing rising sea levels. And that hangar area, so beloved by so many Belizeans, I understand the emotional attachment to it, but it is a very low-lying and flood-prone area when king tides come. And I believe that sometime in the future, king tides, see, that's just regular king tide.
Matters.
Yeah.
That's a high tide at king tide. That's from October. That's not during hurricane, right? That's just king tides, where the whole street goes under. Every day, though, feel like a week or however long the king tide lasts. But yeah, anyway, quickly, we're almost done. We've still gone too far.
Last topic, guys. We've gone through all of it. Tell him maybe an hour.
That's okay though.
Last one is we're gonna do a good positive big up to
Yes,
Evan
I've big up
Perez.
my classmate, Evan Andres Perez. We have the picture of him. He ran the New York Marathon in 4 hours and 1 minute. He's not as young as he looks. He's as old as I look. He's not 96. But he is like me, 55 years old, my old SJC classmate, and he completed the New York Marathon. He's from CNN.
Yeah.
Right? He's the Justice Department correspondent, and I want big up because he ran it in at the Belize colors and the Belize brand
Whole
on
jersey. I love
Right.
that.
So maximum respect to that. That's not easy when you're 55 to run a 20.
It's not easy when you're 29 either.
Well, we have a budding marathoner over here.
Yeah,
Wow,
in 4
I
hours.
love that.
so-
See some
Yeah.
positive news to end off with the,
Yes,
the
man.
beef.
Big up the man.
Big up, yeah. I love that. Representing our country out there whenever in any spaces, putting on, having the full jersey, the Belize jersey, or just the colors or so forth, really shows and shed lights on our country. So, big up to Jules, you did a marathon next.
Yeah, rolling. Do they allow rolling? If it's all downhill, I can roll.
And now we must roll to our commercial break.
All right.
Because time is money and we need to pay them bills. But we do also have a beautiful, beautiful sunrise to be able to share with you guys too as well as they get that prepared and loaded up. You know, the beef never so bad, you know.
It was very...
Who do you think this is from, Jules?
I don't know. It's spectacular, though.
This is from Jamie Usher.
Wow. Oh, yes. She
does the dramatic
She take
one.
over from me. Queen
Yeah,
of
she really
Sunrise.
does amazing
Beautiful,
dramatic
though.
ones
Great
too
work.
as well. So
Great work.
big up to Jamie on this. Thank you so much for the submission. With that, guys, we're going to be going to our first commercial break. But when we're back, we range into different conversations from the Nature Conservancy, talking about the mariculture regulations that are coming in and the community consultations for that. And of course, we're going to be talking about the Belize International Film Festival. So stay tuned for today's exciting conversations. We'll be right back.
Have you heard about the expungement of criminal records? Well, as of August 1st, 2024, the Criminal Records Rehabilitation of Offenders Act allows for you to apply to have certain criminal charges permanently erased from your record. Isn't that amazing? So, what makes you eligible to apply for expungement? The offense must qualify for expungement based on Schedule 2 and 3 of the law. You must meet the applicable rehabilitation period. This is the time period you must wait before you can apply. The applicant must not have any outstanding matters or have had any other convictions during the rehabilitation period. You can qualify for automatic expungement for certain first-time drug offenses, as well as COVID-related offenses. So, what are the benefits of expungement? Well, it broadens employment and educational opportunities that a criminal record would normally hinder. It gives you a peace of mind away from the stigma of having a criminal conviction and provides you with access to services that may be otherwise restricted. If you have a past criminal conviction, here's what you can do to get it expunged. First, verify if you qualify for expungement. Then, prepare the application package. Each package consists of 2 forms. Applications are available countrywide. You then make a non-refundable payment of $100 at your nearest Treasury Department and finally submit the package and payment receipt to any Ministry of Human Development office countrywide. Note, applicants will receive a notification within 90 days to see if their application was approved or denied. So, if you are interested, visit any Human Development office countrywide, any magistrate court, or the Ministry of Home Affairs office in Belmopan. For more information, you can call 227-2716 or you can WhatsApp 613-0343.
Indian restaurant located at 148 Newton Barracks Road in Belize City, saying great authentic Indian cuisine. More space, a VIP area, and better ambience. Visit them at their new location or place your order via WhatsApp to 614-667. Restaurant. Come enjoy a true Indian experience.
Nando's Wholesale is the distributor for the full line of Badia spices, including the original complete seasoning, the perfect combination of ingredients and spices prepared to enhance the natural flavor of your favorite foods. Also, cinnamon powder for all your desserts, fruits, and beverages, and as special dishes. All these are available in commercial sizes or restaurant packaging. Nando's products are available at your local retailer or contact us at 222-5000. From Corzal to Toledo, Nando's is proud to be serving Belize as its #1 wholesale distributor for over 35 years.
Welcome to the V Department Store. We are conveniently located on Coney Drive in Belize City. That's right on Coney Drive in Belize City. At the V Department Store, we offer a wide variety of groceries, cosmetics, kitchen appliances, kitchenware, electronics, and more. We've also recently expanded to the 2nd floor to better meet your household and office furniture needs. We now have a wide variety of furniture, home decor, and accessories. We have a shared vision for a comfortable and customer-friendly shopping experience. Visit us today and be warmly greeted by our reasonable prices and cordial staff. The V Department Store. Experience the ultimate shopping destination.
Wake up to positivity and inspiration. It's a fresh and diverse twist on your mornings. Tune in to Sunup on 7 every weekday morning at 6:30 a.m. right here on your nation station, Channel 7. It's the morning show you don't want to miss.
moderate winds aren't
We're navigating along the coastline.
This morning, the 2023
Good evening.
Good evening. I'm Cherise Halsell, and
Here's what's ahead for you on 7 News Tonight. We've got details of these and other stories in our newscast for tonight. Good evening. With your news, I'm Adura Craft.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
And we are back, Boozlers. We just had a very beautiful, engaging 9-topic Monday Morning Beef with Jews, where we answered everything under the sun. And of course, having a very positive outlook at the end part, bringing up our Belizeans that are representing us across the world. And now we move into a very uplifting conversation too as well, because consultations are underway, things are being done too as well for people that are in the mariculture, marine spaces. This is a beautiful conversation for you. So we're here with the Nature Conservancy, Mr. Salim Chan, who is the mariculture and safety specialist at TNC Belize. And then we have Mr. Nicanor Rakenya from Mariculture Regulations Consultant. So good morning, both of you gentlemen. How are you feeling this morning?
Good morning. Good.
Good?
Yeah.
With scale of 1 to 10, like the energy gauge.
I would say 9.
Okay, that's
I was
really
on the
high.
road early this morning, so I drove up from Belmopan.
Oh, okay. And then Mr. Nicanor?
I'm doing really well. Thank you. Grateful for the opportunity. Out as a 10 with lovely people.
Okay, all right. So we have energies very
share.
high, but we have good conversations to have too as well, because like we were talking about off camera, this is the first time we're able to actually bring about this regulation and what we're trying to do. So when we have the first, we always want to get it done the right way.
Yeah.
But for people to understand the context of this conversation properly, I love to give a background. Let's understand why the need for mariculture regulations, like what was the thought process, where were we at to be able to get to this point now too as well. So I'm going to have it as open question.
Before jumping into that, let me just apologize on behalf of the Belize Fisheries Department.
Sure.
Our representative from the department, they should have been here with us this morning. Unfortunately, due to last-minute emergency, the person wasn't able to attend. But with that said,
whole over good. No worry about
to
nothing.
make an attempt to answer your question briefly. So, mariculture has been, I think, an activity in Belize for years. We know seaweed. We've consumed seaweed culturally, the drink. Myself, growing up in Punta Gorda, I recall buying seaweed shake from a guy on the corner.
Yes, seaweed.
Yeah, you would ride the bus you would stop in Mango Creek, and then the guy would board the bus selling seaweeds. So seaweed was an opportunistic crop for commercial fishers.
Very true.
And it then evolved as time progressed to the point where fishers themselves expressed the interest in building and diversifying, creating a seaweed industry as a means of them not only relying on the commercial finfish, lobster, and conch. So we have gotten to a place where in 2022, with the support of funding through the Nature Conservancy, the Belize Fisheries Department, again with consultants, were able to create the first mariculture policy for Belize. And of course, after setting the foundation policy, we then need regulations. So that's where we are now in creating a group guidelines so that when we do roll out this new fishery, it can be done in an inclusive manner and one that would provide alternative, at the moment, supplemental livelihood, but get to a place where fishers can eventually make a decision to say, you know what, I am making enough financially to move away from conch, lobster, finfish, and solely make an income from seaweeds, for example, or
Correct me if
other
I'm wrong,
species.
Mr. Salim, if it's only seaweed, are we opening it to different parts and different markets too as well?
Yes, I am focusing on seaweed because we did an extensive work on seaweed at the Nature Conservancy. But when, in partnership with the Fisheries Department, the decision was made to create regulations not just for a particular species,
Perfect.
but for mariculture in general. So creating guidelines, for example, if we would like to venture into finfish, penning, rearing fish in cages, as well as maybe clams or sea cucumber, as we were sharing earlier.
Oysters.
Oysters. And we then got to fast forward. We did an extensive process to select consultants, and that's how Mr. Requena got in the picture with his colleagues. TNC, along with Fisheries, signed a contract in December of 2024. And I will allow Mr. Requena to get into it.
Thank you very much. Thanks for the opportunity, Sunup and Mr. Chan. This work is done by a team of 3. So I have Mr. Ed Osher with legal background that is helping us to do this work, along with Mr. Eugene Ariola. And the process so far has been one in which we've done an extensive literature review. That literature review included reviewing all the policies, the national policies that exist related to mariculture and fisheries in the country, regionally and internationally, looking at what are the best practices that exist in the region and internationally, as well as guidelines to be able to develop for Belize the best comprehensive regulations for mariculture activity. As Mr. Chan highlighted, the idea is to make sure that it is inclusive, to make sure that the local fishermen, the local group in Riversdale, in Placencia, in Sarteneja are able to access, to tap into this sector. It is an opportunity as well for us to ensure that whatever is done in mariculture does not negatively impact the coastal and marine ecosystems.
Very important.
So it is providing an opportunity for economic activity, both for the local community as well as for investors, but also making sure that we do that in a manner that will ensure that these ecosystems continue to persist in the long term. And so it is a balance. One of the things that we've done so far this year is a series of consultations that focused on government, private and public sector. Okay. So we engaged all the main government departments, so the Lands Department, Ministry of Environment, the Fisheries Department, among other departments, as well as the University of Belize. Okay. We also engaged with the industry stakeholders, so those groups that are active in, for example, seaweed. We've engaged with the Shrimp Growers Association to get a better understanding of how they see these regulations being developed. What is it that they would like to see reflected in these regulations? Because at the end of the day, whatever regulations we develop, we want to make sure that they are in the best interest of Belize, in the best interest of the locals, and in the best interest of moving forward in terms of the conservation and the protection of coastal and marine ecosystems. So making sure that, yes, it addresses and it takes care of larger investments that can come into the country, but also catering for the local fishermen, the local groups. So key among those things are, how do they access a permitting or a licensing? Is just one aspect. You know, how do we develop fines and penalties to ensure that those that commit infractions against the environment or these ecosystems are addressed. So it's been very inclusive, very participatory, and we are getting ready for our next phase, which is the community consultations.
Right.
But I'll pass there. Yeah.
Right, the consultations, an incredibly important part so that you can hear back from the community. But as it is right now, what are you hearing anything unofficial right now before the consultancy even begun?
Sorry?
Have you heard anything from the communities unofficially? I know the consultancy hasn't started yet, but anything unofficial, any interest expressed by the communities?
Most certainly. One of the things that has arisen is this is long overdue. We should get this done
That's
long
also when you guys said this is the first time we're having mariculture.
We should get this done long time.
They've been waiting on it.
So the communities are waiting for it.
Yeah.
The University of Belize, for example, through their ERI and science program, have been very key in providing key guidelines and suggestions, recommendations on how we ensure that we continue to protect these ecosystems that we have. So making sure that we have in place regulations that will avoid invasive species, for example, and making sure that effluents coming out of any of these facilities are properly taken care of. But overall, one of the things that we're hearing is get it done. It must be done urgently, and it must be done in a manner that ensures that the local community member, the fisher, is able to tap into this sector.
Yeah.
Make it inclusive.
Make it fully inclusive.
An important point that I would like to add to that is what stakeholders from across the country has been expressing thus far is the need to create regulations that is inclusive for them, not to create a set of regulations that will be cumbersome. Regulations that would be difficult for them to access a permit, for example.
That is so true.
Thinking about, let's just say someone from Punta Gorda or someone from Placencia who doesn't have the financial resources to travel to Belmopan on a weekly basis to access a permit. How can we create a system where we have a centralized location? Is it Fisheries Department who they apply through the Fisheries Department, and that permit grants them the permission to access, for example, the sea floor?
Yeah.
Of course, there are several different other government agencies that regulate, because we're looking at several regulations here, right? So we cannot create mariculture regulations in isolation of existing regulations.
That's correct.
So how can we work with the other government departments for us to create a set of regulations that will, and this is groundbreaking, because we are hoping to create regulations where someone can go into one particular department and behind the scenes, they're communicating. The government departments are communicating before a response is provided to that stakeholder, either be yes or no, if that permit is going to be issued. If an environmental impact assessment study is required, for example, or if it's a low impact study that is required. Because yes, it all boils down, we don't want to create additional stressors on the environment, but how can we adjust to changing times and not just use the excuse and say, okay, these are the regulations, you have to abide by them. You have to go to DOE, you have to go to lands, then you have to come to fisheries. And then when you go to lands, they send you back to DOE or they send you back to fisheries. Like, those are some of the challenges. Those are the realities.
Yeah, it is.
And how can we change that?
And it can be frustrating for a person that wants to be able to get a permit in the first place, but also doesn't have the access and the means, like you mentioned before, to travel. Is there a thing to as well? Because I know that we've been trying to work on this idea of digitization, looking at how people can apply for these things online, pay online, and just, if there's a hiccup, there's an issue or whatever it is, be able to go from there. Because I'm just thinking about the feasibility of always having to pick up and go somewhere.
Yes.
And then you have several ministries that you have to go to as well.
Or several trips.
Or several trips that you have to make because you made this appointment and it never happened or whatever. So is that something that's being talked about? Or I'm guessing that is also going to be addressed.
It came up, it has arisen in the consultations, and our role as the consulting team, along with the Fisheries Department and the Nature Conservancy, have been working towards trying to see how we can put in place solutions for that.
Yeah.
One example, as Mr. Chan has highlighted, is the application for these licenses, for these permits. So one suggestion is create a format.
Yes.
Include a schedule that will allow for the local group in Riversdale or Placencia or St. Bay to be able to apply for that.
Yeah.
And depending on the scale, it cannot be that the fisher or the group that wants to do a small plot of seaweed will go through the same rigorous process as an investor that is thinking about large-scale cage
Is it over the head?
farming,
Then
for
I-
example.
then- yeah.
And so making sure that we can accommodate for that. So it's a very delicate balance that we have there. And my colleague, Mr. Osha, is playing an integral role in that because we want to make sure that the regulations are inclusive and that it accommodates for these local groups. Because if you make it too restrictive, then by nature, they will not be able
Nobody
to
going in the market.
will not be able to
We have all these regulations and people will be able to go into the market.
It'll be an industry for more so foreign investors or people who can afford it, you know?
Exactly.
And so in that regard, the input that we've been getting from local stakeholders, from the community groups, has been vital to be able to carve this. And we're at the point where we have a first draft of the regulation.
Okay.
Of course, over the next week, there's going to be revision and approval from the Fisheries Department and the Nature Conservancy, and that will allow us to now go into the communities to engage with community members to then get their input and improve on that draft. So it's an extensive process.
Of course.
It is meant to go up until about May or June of 2026, so next year.
Okay.
I just want to take the opportunity here to say that we are excited, the consulting team is excited, and along with the Fisheries Department and the Nature Conservancy on these engagements. So we have tentative scheduled consultations for the 15th, Saturday, November 15th.
That's next week, Saturday.
Yes, in Sarteneja.
Okay.
And then on the 22nd, we have Belize City. And then on the
Next
6th of December, we have Placencia. And the idea is to be able to get the input of community members to then improve on this first draft. The first draft will give us, the consulting team, an opportunity to present to the community members what we have so far and to say, okay, is this reflecting your interest? Is this reflecting what you've provided in terms of input and recommendation? How do you see this improving before we get to the second and the third and, of course, then the final draft of this, which will then go to cabinet. I want to highlight, though, that there's an important aspect of this work that we're doing, and that is putting together a plan to be able to have this interagency coordination, which we flag, which stakeholders have flagged as being necessary.
Yes.
And so just before it is completed, there is going to be a series of workshops, meetings, in which we will gather these agencies, government agencies, to be able to devise a plan to be able to then implement this regulation, because what is the sense in having good regulation if the implementation aspect is not there? So that is a key component of our work.
Does it also account for our interagency coordination too as well?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Because
Yes.
I feel like sometimes we have the interagency and then we don't have the intra.
Yes.
And then it's like, I'm doing my own thing, you're doing your own thing, and then people are like, how are we coordinating together? So like we're actually making sure this is a whole of government approach, a whole of society approach too as well, right?
To add to the phase we are now venturing into, so we're doing the dates that Mr. Rekana just shared, 3 community consultations at 3 different locations. So the first date, which was November the 15th,
that's next
would
week.
be in Sarteneja.
Is it all day?
It's no, it's not all day. It'll be a Saturday, probably in the afternoon.
Okay.
We're considering using the community center in Sarteneja.
Nice.
So for the communities up north, Al, Shanush, Copperbank, Corozal, fishers from Orinjuak, we're hoping that they could be able to attend that session up north, because that's specifically for northern communities. Not just fishers, but also tour guides, stakeholders, anyone who is interested. And then the second date, which is the 22nd of November, would be here in Belize City. We're looking at one of the cooperatives conference room.
Okay.
I believe Northern conference room. And then the third location would be in Placencia.
On the 6th of December.
On the 6th of December. So communities, Dangriga, Riversdale, of course, Placencia, Punta Gorda, they can then, Barranco can then come to Placencia.
And this is the first, well, for the public specifically, this is the first round of consultation. Will there be a follow-up one afterwards? Because I'm just wondering, if you miss that one day, how will you be able to still be able to get the presentation, get your feedback into as well?
So before it's finalized, we have a national consultation as well that is meant to happen, and that will be centralized. So
perfect.
Yes.
Yeah.
So how can people access the communities to know, where can they find the schedule to know, okay, it's this date, this time, this
We'll
place?
be advertising it locally on the media.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah.
And is there like a centralized, maybe a Facebook page, something where people can go, website, anything where people can go,
The
so they can go to
website,
the
the TNC's website as well. We have, I think, Facebook as well as Instagram.
Okay.
So it'll be posted up there.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Definitely, because I want as much people to be able to
Yeah.
see and be able to get a
That
copy
is
so they
correct.
can be able
Yeah.
to comment on it too as well. It's really important to have.
For the northern communities, we'll be working with SACD.
Okay.
So that's an NGO in Sartineja.
Mhm.
And the executive director, Mr. Joel Verde, has shared with me there is a WhatsApp group chat with all the community leaders that they have.
Excellent.
So it'll also be posted up in that community group chat, extending an invitation for them to come. We're hoping that it'll be well attended.
Yeah.
I'll be there for sure. And we're approaching this in a manner where we're hoping to receive feedback from community members. I know regulations can be seen as a technical document, but with Mr. Usher's assistance, I've been impressed with his work and the way he's able to express it, and for us to understand. And I think that's key with community members when creating regulations, because at times you could create a presentation and be using language where they walk away and everybody is confused, you know?
Yeah, we don't want that.
Yeah.
We want people to be able to understand that that's how they actually can comment and give feedback if
Exactly.
they understand.
Exactly.
And maybe just a suggestion too as well, maybe it could be a thing too, we cut up small portions of the presentation, or we have videos that in case people are more
That's a good idea.
more caring about like the fines, they can have a presentation that's saying these are the fines that are being implemented or being proposed to as well,
Yeah.
so that they can be able to provide particular feedback on specific parts for the regulation too as well.
Yes.
And I think that's allowing access, because the reality is, even with maybe the national rollout, for people to get consultations, people might still can't make it, and maybe people don't want to listen to the entire presentation.
Right.
But there's specific parts that they do want to listen to. So I'm just saying ways in which we can be able to meet people where they're at and maybe where their passion area is at too as well.
Yes, and we saw that in the first round of consultations that we did. That is a very good suggestion and something that we're employing, and we'll certainly continue to employ during the consultations that we have upcoming. One of the key things that I want to highlight here is that all of this work is being done and is able to be done because of the parent act, which is the Fisheries Resources Act.
Excellent.
So our work in developing the mariculture regulations is restricted, is done within the context of the Fisheries Resources Act. And I'm fortunate to have worked with other colleagues in the passage of that Fisheries Resources Act. So my background and those of my colleagues helps us in this process to then be able to devise a way of ensuring that local stakeholders have input in the development of this.
Excellent. I'm really grateful to see that you guys are doing consultations on Saturdays,
Yeah.
and in a latter part of the Saturday too as well.
Again, that is as a result of the first phase of engagement that we had.
You have to meet people where they're
Stakeholders are
at.
saying, you know what, this is what works for us, and so we have to ensure that we accommodate for that. Otherwise, the input is not going to be there.
you're not
And the
gonna turn
regulations
out.
and the regulations are only going to be as good as the participation and the input that we get from the communities, from fishers, from these key stakeholders. We have to make sure that these regulations reflect the interests, reflect what it is that as Belizeans we want in the long term for this sector.
Most definitely. Well, thank you so much, gentlemen, for being here. It's been an exciting conversation. We look forward to the updates because we know that there are going to be different stages. So we'd love to be the follow along to see how this engagement goes when that time comes to as well. And of course, to remind people that are listening right now that they can go on the TNC's Facebook page to be able to check out what's happening too as well. Maybe they want to ask questions, get further information, and they're going to be posting on the different medias when the consultations are going to be. We know that it's going to be different Saturdays of this November and one Saturday in December, but just in case you guys want to tell a friend or something like that, you can check out them, or the fisheries department too as well. Is a nice source to be able to go and check out. But with that, guys, thank you so much for this conversation. All the best next week and the week after, and then December 6th. No, there's not the week after. December 6th after. They're taking a break. And then they're coming back. So with that, we're going to go to our next commercial break. But when we are back, we dive into excitement because we're going to be talking about the Belize International Film Festival. All you need to know about submissions, all you need to know about event launch, all the good stuff. Stay tuned.
Indian restaurant located at 148 Mutong Barracks Road in Belize City, saying great authentic Indian cuisine. More space, a VIP area, and better ambience. Visit them at their new location or place your order via WhatsApp to 614-667. Restaurant. Come enjoy a true Indian experience.
Nando's Wholesale is the distributor for the full line of Badia spices, including the original complete seasoning, the perfect combination of ingredients and spices prepared to enhance the natural flavor of your favorite foods. Also, cinnamon powder for all your desserts, fruits, and beverages, and as special dishes. All these are available in commercial sizes or restaurant packaging. Nando's products are available at your local retailer or contact us at 222-5000. From Corozal to Toledo, Nando's is proud to be serving Belize as its #1 wholesale distributor for over 35 years.
Welcome to the V Department Store. We are conveniently located on Coney Drive in Belize City. That's right on Coney Drive in Belize City. At the V Department Store, we offer a wide variety of groceries, cosmetics, kitchen appliances, kitchenware, electronics, and more. We've also recently expanded to the second floor to better meet your household and office furniture needs. We now have a wide variety of furniture, home decor, and accessories. We have a shared vision for a comfortable and customer-friendly shopping experience. Visit us today and be warmly greeted by our reasonable prices and cordial staff. The V Department Store. Experience the ultimate shopping destination.
Wake up to positivity and inspiration. It's a fresh and diverse twist on your mornings. Tune in to Sunup on 7 every weekday morning at 6:30 a.m. right here on your nation station, Channel 7. It's the morning show you don't want to miss.
These charter mints aren't from
We're navigating along the coastline.
This morning, the 2023
Good evening.
Good evening. I'm Shirley Kelso,
And here's what's ahead for you on 7 News Tonight. We've got details of these and other stories in our newscast for tonight. Good evening. With your news, I'm Indra Craig.
Belize You're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
Hi, have you heard about the expungement of criminal records? Well, as of August 1st, 2024, the Criminal Records Rehabilitation of Offenders Act allows for you to apply to have certain criminal charges permanently erased from your record. Isn't that amazing?
So, what makes you eligible to apply for expungement? The offense must qualify for expungement based on Schedule 2 and 3 of the law. You must meet the applicable rehabilitation period. This is the time period you must wait before you can apply. The applicant must not have any outstanding matters or have had any other convictions during the rehabilitation period. You can qualify for automatic expungement for certain first-time drug offenses, as well as COVID-related offenses. So, what are the benefits of expungement? Well, it broadens employment and educational opportunities that a criminal record would normally hinder.
It gives you a peace of mind away from the stigma of having a criminal conviction and provides you with access to services that may be otherwise restricted.
If you have a past criminal conviction, here's what you can do to get it expunged. First, verify if you qualify for expungement. Then, prepare the application package. Each package consists of 2 forms. Applications are available countrywide. You then make a non-refundable payment of $100 at your nearest Treasury Department and finally submit the package and payment receipt to any Ministry of Human Development office countrywide. Note, applicants will receive a notification within 90 days to see if their application was approved or denied. So, if you are interested, visit any Human Development office countrywide, any magistrate court, or the Ministry of Home Affairs office in Belmopan. For more information, you can call 227-2716 or you can WhatsApp 613-0343.
And we are back, Boozillers, and excitement is happening. Previously, we had a great conversation talking about the new consultations rolling out for the mariculture regulations that are happening next week, Saturday, the week Saturday after that, and then in December too as well. If you want to know any more information, check out the Belize Fisheries Department page as well as TNC's page too as well to see exactly what's going on under the sun. Very important conversations. But we move into something else exciting with the Belize International Film Festival, as we know and love it so much. Let's find out all the updates. We have here via Zoom Miss Suzette Zayden, who's no stranger to Sunup on 7 at all. Miss Suzette, how are you doing? I think you're muted. I think you're muted.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah. Hi, good morning. I'm doing well.
Awesome. So we're going to get into the conversation right now. I'm going to introduce your other colleague too as well. And if I say your name wrong, I want you to correct me because, you know, it's all fancy and I'm not with the good accent thing here. But we have Miss Diomne Habet, who is the marketing manager too as well. So
you got it. That's
I got
correct.
it.
Diomne.
Oh, girl. The peace in my heart right now. But we're really excited to have both you ladies on because when we think about the Belize International Film Festival, we think about, you know, being able to have art really tell stories, to feel that passion, to have people go out and showcase what they've been working on too as well. And so, Ms. Suzette, I'm going to rip off the band-aid real quickly too as well and ask you what's been happening under the sun when it comes to the collection of these movies and how you're partnering and what's happening, because this is the 18th edition, if I'm not mistaken? Or no?
The 18th.
Yeah.
The 18th, yeah, like 1/8, guys. Like this is.
It's an adult now.
It's an adult.
It's growing.
Oh my gosh.
It's growing.
We're legal in some countries. Like, so Miss Susan, talk to us a little bit about that and what's been happening.
Okay, so we're turning 18, and that's a milestone. Yes, we're becoming adults, or at least voting age. And we thought that this year we should probably do something different. We have had challenges along the way each year, and we've tried to adjust with each edition the ways that we could perhaps make the festival more accessible to people. As you know, Belize only had one cinema up to the other day. I heard it's closed now. So Belize has no cinema, which makes it hard for us to promote films exhibition in the country. And so we started talking amongst ourselves in the organizing committee. How about if we went digital? That way we could reach the entire country, and it would not be as limited as if we were showing the films for 4 days or 3 days in one spot, where people say, oh, I know the festival's on, I hear the festival's on, but I forgot to go or I missed it. And so what we're doing this year is a little bit different. We're going hybrid, and we're going for 6 months. So the launch of the festival this Saturday, November 8th, at Umaya Resort in Placencia, in partnership with the Belize Collection, where Ms. Habet is from. What we're doing is we started launching the entire idea of the festival, and we are actually going to have that digital festival in April. So the hybrid festival means that there's going to be some select in-person screenings, so that we can have an opportunity to look at the film, talk about it, discuss it a little bit more, and then allow our audiences time to, let it kind of wash over them, as opposed to trying to throw 20 films all at once, which it turns out Belizean audiences are just not able to. It's just not the culture here for us to sit down for 3 days and just watch films. So we've decided to stop swimming upstream and try and work around it a bit.
Right. So this year's set of films, what have they been like, the persons who have joined the competition?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you very well.
This year's films, what were your opinions on them? What were your views when you saw them?
Well, you see, that's the interesting part. We're launching with an in-person screening this Saturday, but we are about to send out the call for submissions. So no, we haven't even put together the festival yet, because that festival will take place in April.
Okay.
So there's still time to submit. We wanted to sort of introduce the idea, beginning with the in-person screenings. We're going to have an academic conference also in April, 2-day conference to talk about Caribbean cinema. We're working with French Caribbean, and we're working with the English-speaking Caribbean. So we have representatives on that group from Guadeloupe and from Trinidad. And the University of Belize is the research department is leading that group that's dealing with the conference. So we'll be having that in April as well. So the selection, what we want to do is we're creating this space digitally, and we sort of want to focus on Caribbean films. Belizean films first, but we still have not that many. And Caribbean films, because we don't think that the Belizean audiences have had a chance to really see Caribbean films easily. We know there's Netflix, there's other streamers, but are they really showing Caribbean films? So because of our network, we're going to be sending out a call for submissions that will keep the first two categories, the feature film categories, the narrative and the documentary. Those will remain open internationally, but all the short films, short documentaries, student films will remain, will be only for the Caribbean. And by Caribbean, I mean any country that has a shore with the Caribbean Sea.
Okay. Awesome.
Shoreline. In some places like Mexico, Colombia, and Venezuela, they have a portion of the country, for instance, so Yucatan, Mexico will be also eligible.
Oh.
I wanted to ask, because you mentioned earlier, you pointed out that Belize doesn't have a cinema. You know, it's so unfortunate because films are such an important part of, I think, any culture, any entertainment space, art in itself. And it's really discouraging, I think, for a lot of people that we don't have a cinema. So if movie and films are the things that you're into, you have to go abroad and see what you can find from that.
Watch your laptop, watch your
Yeah,
house.
right. Exactly. It takes away from the experience. So I just wanted to ask you why it's important for you guys to keep this film festival, alive, keep stoking the fires and keep trying to garner interest from as many people as possible.
Because every time you get one person interested in making a film, we have reached somewhere in our goal. We know, we at the festival know that films are important for a national identity. We need to start making Belizean films that reflect who we are, and we need to start making them at a high enough quality that they can be sold outside of the country. Because let's be real, if you put $100,000 into a film, you will not recuperate that money in Belize by itself.
No.
Right.
So you have to start thinking. We have to encourage people to start thinking when they make their films. Yes, it's good to practice and make these films for your friends, but you have to start understanding the business of film. So that's what we keep trying to explain to people. And the other thing that we also want to do with the first film that we're showing, it's called Looking Through Water, and it was filmed in Belize in 2023, 2 years ago.
Okay.
And these are international films that are filmed on location in Belize. I was the supervising producer for Belize on that film. And so what we do, and many of the people that work with the festival, we also work on these films when they come in. We are privileged enough to be able to be in that first group that are called. And that particular film spent about 3 months here, 2 to 3 months in Belize, and it injected approximately $2 million into the economy.
Wow.
And this is why, for some reason, the authorities, no matter how much we sing, you're sitting here telling me, why do you keep doing it? Because we know film has the potential to make money for this country. And it's like nobody wants to listen, but we will keep doing it until somebody understands this is one of the potentially biggest money earners for the creative industry. If you would only put resources into advertising Belize as a film destination, put some incentives in, because can you imagine one single film? And that's 1 million US. That is not a huge budget by film standards, maybe a medium-sized budget for international productions. If we were to reach a stage where we would say, let's target 3 to 5 films per year, that's a huge amount of money coming into the country.
Yes.
And so what we do is we try and get as much of the people who come to the trainings at the film festival, we try and find spots for them to be production assistants, because it's important that they learn how to work on an international set. International set is in Belize at that point. But they need to learn a film day is not, it's a lot of time, it's a lot of dedication. So we are used to long hours. A film day is 10 hours. The film production provides you with meals, it takes care of stuff, snacks throughout the day. If you are on location somewhere, depending on your level in the production, it will cover your travel and per diem if necessary. So if you're on like the camera department or something like that. So it's a way that we can get creative people who want to make film can go on a set and say, okay, this is how they do it. Oh, that's the kind of camera they use. And most times you get to kind of sort of like call it like a paid internship, to just be there and understand how it's done, so that then you can take that information and translate it into making your own Belizean film. And that's always been the goal, to make the Belizean film by Belizeans.
Most definitely.
And so we keep doing it. We keep doing it. It's one big circle.
I know, and it's great when you have like collections, partnerships like the Belize collection that, see the importance of this and want to make sure that they create spaces to have launches and so forth. So I'm gonna bring Diomne into this conversation and ask her exactly, what is the position that the Belize collection has, and tell us a little bit about the launch that's taking place to us on November 8th.
So I want to start off by saying that film is a part of art, and we support art through our ethos programs. So this fits in nicely because we love art, we love sports, we love people. So while it's Suzette's project, we act as the platform, the conduit, the channel. We have the resources to assist with hosting and being the venue and making sure that this goes off without a hitch. So that's our main role in this, and assisting with the marketing and making sure that the venue is ready, the layout, all of that, and kind of just making sure that these spaces are accessible and available for launches like what's happening this weekend.
Most definitely. And thank you so much also, like you said, for loving art and also creating the platform and making sure that it's possible. Because as you can clearly see from like what Courtney was saying and what Suzette was saying, it feels like it's a dying and it's a hard industry to really tap into properly and to allow persons to have that creative space. So for you guys, it says a lot with the Belize collection, making sure that, you know, I'm gonna host this. I'm gonna be the place that people can come and feel safe and can enjoy an aspect of this too as well, to like set it off on the right tone. It really shows the priorities that you guys face when it comes to film and art in the country.
Right. So persons who are interested in submitting, how can they do that? When does it open? Yeah, what are the requirements?
Give us the details.
Yeah.
The form should become available on our Facebook page and the website approximately November 15th. And you can start, and we will close off submissions in January.
Okay, that's a good period of time to be able to make your submissions to as well. And so the form is going to have all the requirements, all the specification, what types of movies and everything?
It will have a section that says, I can allow the film to be shown in Belize or Belize only, elsewhere. And like the international features, those are always tricky. So there's also the option where they say, no, I'm afraid we cannot do it digitally, or we would prefer it to be in person only. This is because of distribution deals, and they could be clashing with other deals that are out there. For instance, they might have already sold the Central American territory or the Latin American territory, which is where Belize sometimes gets lumped in, basically because of our geographic position in Central America. And so they may not be able to give us the right to put it online because somebody else already has that right. They may be able to say, okay, you can get the theatrical, which is the in-person screening, for Belize only. So we have to be very careful of that. And even if some of the Caribbean films say that they want to go, like a lot of the young people who are just starting, they're like, show me everywhere, show me to the world. But, you know, there's some who have already said, you know what, I went to, I am screening in the US because I did a co-production and my producer has access to some cinemas. And so we can't show in the US because I've already sold that. So we have to, every single film that goes through the film festival, we secure permissions and authorizations. Most times for the festival, it's only for the festival. So people might say, I missed it. I missed the film festival. Can I see the film? No, I'm sorry. You cannot see the film because I was only authorized to show it within these dates at once or twice, and that's it. So we are going to be making it so whichever ones that we show as a digital festival, you will be able to like purchase a ticket. I call it a digital ticket, and that film will become available. The films will be as a package. They will become available to you for 1 month, just as if you
nice.
And you can sit at home. You can't say that you can't make it because you were tired. You can start it, stop it. You have a whole month to do that. And so that's one of the things that we're launching at the festival. We want to launch. So we're also looking at creating the entire, a channel that may be available on a year-round basis for Caribbean films. But it would have like the festival screening as a select purchase by itself. So we have big ambitions this year and moving forward, because there's no way that this is the only way we feel that we can reach the entire Belize country at one go. So that's our first goal. We're not going into this with the idea that I want to compete with Netflix. We want to work with Belize, and let's see how we can get all the films that and they've been really good films throughout the years that you can access now a lot digitally. We've become a digital society, so this should not be that difficult to handle.
Excellent. So where can people, so again, people can go to the International Film Festival. They're going to be having out all of the applications, the criteria, and everything to tell a friend, to make sure you're fully aware of what's happening to us. Well, the launch is happening November 8th. That's going to be happening in Placencia. So they can be able to attend that too. Is it open for the public, or is it specific?
It's open for the public. It's actually, we're doing it almost like a fundraiser because we're raising funds. The festival has become independent, so it doesn't it doesn't start with any seed up funding from any government agency. So it's at this point purely a bunch of very dedicated individuals who want to see this thing happen and move forward. And most of them, they want to work in films. So this is like a step up. No, you make your film, you showcase it, you see who's there, you talk to each other, you network, and let's go ahead and make a film. There's actually quite a few aspects to our relationship with the Belize collection. The Belize collection, which Diom can tell us. I'm gonna be messing up your name too. I'm so sorry. She can tell you about their collection of hotels, which is luxury, a suite of luxury hotels, right? I think Diom might want to jump in here and explain.
Sorry, so the Belize collection, we are a collection of resorts, residences, and restaurants. So if you've ever been to Sleeping Giant, the Lodge at Jaguar Reef, Almond Beach, Umaya, that would be part of our collection, yes.
And so we've been speaking with Ian and Julie as well from Belize Collection, and they're very keen on making sure that the properties are highlighted and that when films come to Belize, as every enterprising hotel should want, they should want the people to come and use their hotels. And so this is part of the partnership that, bring your film people here. Remember, we're here, and in fact, we're going to help you guys jumpstart this. And that's where that conversation began. And they said, we have this beautiful hotel. We work with Omaya. We have the banks. We have Jaguar Reef. And we have Sleeping Giant. And so let's do this. We're going to work with the academic. We're going to work with your opening night. We'll do it in Placencia because that has the big conference room, and we can probably get a lot more people in that area. It's a little bit more urban. I'm going to call it urban for now compared to the others. And then, and so we jumped at the idea. And so we moved, and then they said they would assist us with the marketing because that is what they do best. And then we moved along and we said, so we have an academic conference coming up. We also have a partnership with University of Belize. We would like to do a conference, an academic conference, so that we can also not just talk about film, but start seeing a collection of papers, sort of how do you recognize countries' identities through films, different Caribbean countries or Caribbean cinema movement. And so they were keen to work with us. And so we're going to be working with the banks for that event in April. That event will be arrivals are April 15th, and then 16th and 17th is the conference. It'll be at UB, but all the in-person events will be at the banks in the night. And then they went a step further and they said, let's see how we can do more with the arts. And so we came up with this idea that we would do a joint screenplay competition. And we'll give you the exact submission form later on, but the idea that we have right now, which is very exciting to me at least, is that we'll open a call for screenplays in January perhaps, and it will be that you have to make a screenplay that is written to be shot on location in either the Sleeping Giant or at the Lodge at Jaguar Reef.
Oh, wow.
So you either have a jungle background or you have a beach background.
Nice.
And then the winning screenplay will get a prize, and then we will make sure that we get it produced so that the film exists, and it has to be shot on location. We haven't quite finalized the details, but that's the goal that we want to go so that we can actually start moving towards getting productions made.
Well, there definitely is a lot of things on the horizon, which we're very excited for too as well. So people must stay in tune to what the Belize International Film Festival is doing, and of course the opportunities available, and get ready for your submissions. You have a good period of time to get everything in order to send it through to as well. But thank you so much, Suzette, for being able to have this conversation, and Diomne for being able to represent the Belize collection. And it's great to see this partnership and seeing how fruitful this is going to come to be. Of course, up to our filmmakers out there to make sure they put in their submissions too as well. And let's showcase Belizean talent, let's showcase everything that's happening in general when it comes to the film realm. But thank you so much for this conversation. We look forward to a follow-up.
Can I just say one last thing?
Yes, quickly, please.
November 8th, this Saturday at Umaya. As we said, it's a fundraiser. It's dinner and a movie. You can go to the Umaya Facebook page. You can go to our BelizeFilmFestival.com website. But it's featuring two films. It's going to show Looking Through Water, the one that was the international feature that was filmed in Belize. And we're also adding a double, it's a double header because we're adding Tropical Hostage, the Belizean film that was just premiered, just premiered last week, last weekend. And so they're going to come on board because we thought it would be a good conversation piece to look at two films shot in Belize, one from an international perspective and one from a local perspective. And so if you join us, if you buy a ticket, you can buy it online. You just have to call the numbers. You just have to call Umaya or the Belize Collection.
So I'm going to plug in our number real quick. You can WhatsApp us at 615-2167 if you want to purchase a seat.
So 615?
2167.
2167.
Great.
So it's gonna be and it's gonna have a 3-course buffet dinner as well. So it's a dinner and a movie.
Love it. So can't go wrong there at all.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for joining us on the set and for promoting the Belize International Film Festival. Guys, if you have a film that you think you want the world to see, this is their opportunity to step into that world and to experience.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Hi, have you heard about the expungement of criminal records? Well, as of August 1st, 2024, the Criminal Records Rehabilitation of Offenders Act allows for you to apply to have certain criminal charges permanently erased from your record. Isn't that amazing? So, what makes you eligible to apply for expungement? The offense must qualify for expungement based on Schedule 2 and 3 of the law. You must meet the applicable rehabilitation period. This is the time period you must wait before you can apply. The applicant must not have any outstanding matters or have had any other convictions during the rehabilitation period. You can qualify for automatic expungement for certain first-time drug offenses, as well as COVID-related offenses. So, what are the benefits of expungement? Well, it broadens employment and educational opportunities that a criminal record would normally hinder. It gives you a peace of mind away from the stigma of having a criminal conviction and provides you with access to services that may be otherwise restricted. If you have a past criminal conviction, here's what you can do to get it expunged. First, verify if you qualify for expungement. Then, prepare the application package. Each package consists of 2 forms. Applications are available countrywide. You then make a non-refundable payment of $100 at your nearest Treasury Department and finally submit the package and payment receipt to any Ministry of Human Development office countrywide. Note, applicants will receive a notification within 90 days to see if their application was approved or denied. So, if you are interested, visit any Human Development Office countrywide, any magistrate court, or the Ministry of Home Affairs office in Belmopan. For more information, you can call 227-2716 or you can WhatsApp 613-0343.
The roads of Belize connect us all. riders, drivers, families, friends. Every day begins with a little routine and the confidence that life's journeys are protected. From school drop-off through the daily grind and everything in between, each with different roads ahead, yet one common goal: to arrive safely. Atlantic Insurance stands with Belize's riders and motorists with affordable protection, support, and peace of mind for the journey ahead. For the roads we share and the lives we protect, Atlantic Insurance is by your side, insuring you from life's unexpected. Atlantic Insurance, insuring you from life's unexpected.
So you start off in Monday, right, basically, and the whole week. After that, we went into our first segment, which was the Nature Conservancy, and keep an eye on their social media pages if you are part of the communities that they will be in. If you are interested in mariculture, if you're a tour guide, a fisher, any part of the community, keep an eye out on those consultations to know when and where they are taking place closest to you. And then we ended off with the Belize International Film Festival. As you know, they are having an in-person launch this weekend, which includes a fundraiser, a double feature, a full 3-course buffet meal. So you don't want to miss that. And as well, keep an eye out on the dates that they will be coming out with the films, to know that when you can purchase that package, so you can enjoy some local films, some regional films, anything to your liking. So that brings us to the end of this episode. I hope you have a montabulous Monday, because I'm filling in for Renata now. And I will see you guys again tomorrow.
Call your home, a place where you can grow. Stand by me and we'll take flight. We'll be there at morning's light. I've got you covered on all concerns we share today. You will discover how the world turns each day. When the sun comes